National Freedom Forum talk show brought to you by Joe Morabito right here at the Reno Town Mall, where we invite you to actually come join us. Get behind a microphone. Any questions or comments that you may have of Joe Morabito, the host and the creator of National Freedom Forum, the blog, we want you behind that microphone. And remember, you can also reach us by calling us today. That local number, 775-827-8900, toll free nationwide. It is 855-790-TALK. Again, 855-790-8255. National Freedom Forum with Joe Morabito. Joe, I tell you what, we had so many different emails, so many different people from last week's show coming up and saying, hey, could Joe do this? Let's have Joe concentrate this show for our flagship station, 99.1 FM Talk, a Fox News affiliate. Let's have Joe concentrate on Obama.
Like Ronald Reagan said, there he goes again. Yesterday he was out on the campaign trail giving his same old speech. We've heard that story for 5 long years, Eddie. And You know what it is. It's all about class warfare.
You know, Joe, I'll tell you what, you and I have been doing National Freedom Forum for a long, long time, and I'm just totally amazed the number of people who are signing up for National Freedom Forum, your daily blog. How many people are coming to the studio and getting involved and saying, I want to meet Joe Morabito in person. He says a lot. And as you know, National Freedom Forum is without a doubt the most popular listened to talk show on Fox News Radio up here in northern Nevada on 99.1 FM Talk. He's doing it again, and it's all for one reason that I can see, Joe, and it's just simply votes.
Well, remember, I think that the speech that Obama gave yesterday, which, by the way, was longer than an hour, even the left-wing pundits were falling asleep because the speech lasted so long. He was in Galesburg, Illinois, I think at Knox College or Knox University, and really it's the beginning of the 2014 campaign. He's not going to be president for the next couple of years until next November of 2014, or really a year or more from now, because he's back on the campaign trail. And I had to laugh because he said that we should stop worrying about all those phony scandals that the Republicans keep talking about. You know, the Benghazi deal, the IRS dirty tricks, the NSA surveillance of all of us and everything we do, what else? The State Department sex and drugs cover-up. It just goes on and on. Of course, now you're going to hear them all saying, the socialists are calling it the phony scandal. I don't know what's phony about it. The Tea Party that's being targeted, and conservatives and other Christian groups that have been targeted by the IRS. And you know, Eddie, we've hit the smoking gun, because now we found out that the legal counsel for the IRS, who was appointed by the president, and also Doug Shulman, who was the commissioner of the IRS, they met with Obama on, we don't know for sure, they met with somebody on April 23rd and April 24th of 2012, and a few days later, miraculously, the guidelines came out about targeting the Tea Party, conservatives, and Christian organizations. What a coincidence, Eddie. What do you think about it?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think about it. I am sick and tired of these coincidences that our mainstream media will not follow up on, Joe. I mean, believe me, not follow up on it. I have sat back and said, you know what? Benghazi is so much more, if you will, severe than Watergate. Okay, IRS scandal, so much more severe than Watergate, and all these other scandals, one right after another. But guess what? There is nothing like what took place with Watergate, and it seems as if every time I hear him speak, it is nothing but a campaign speech.
Well, you know, I've said many times, Eddie, that Obama makes Nixon look like an altar boy. I mean, the stuff he's doing through executive order and all these shenanigans with his crony over at Justice, Eric Holder. And, you know, they're not investigating where they're supposed to be investigating, and yet they want to investigate poor George Zimmerman. You know, so instead of investigating the IRS agents that should be in jail, like Lois Lerner and some of the others that were involved in these IRS dirty tricks, we're not hearing much about that out of the Justice Department these days, because they don't want the truth to come to light. Obama's fingerprints are all over this deal. He's all over it. Obviously, the order came from Obama to do this, and this is going to drag on, and, you know, they're going to be like little piglets screaming at the farm because you know darn well if somebody's going to go down, they're going to fess up, and eventually it's going to get to Obama. He's in there at those meetings on the 23rd. You know, Doug Shulman, the IRS commissioner, he had 158 meetings at the White House in the last, well, really, I think it was in a 2-year period. The guy who was the commissioner of the IRS under Bush in 8 years had one meeting at the White House, one. And this guy has 158 meetings.